Welcome to Legacy of the Kylords, a Let's Play podcast that uses the Lone Wolf adventure game, produced by Cubicle 7, on license from Home Guard Press. I'm your Game Master, August, and with me are my players, Scott, Kat, and Robbie. Tonight these would-be heroes have cracked open the game box, and they're making characters for next week's campaign. Let's listen in. Alright, let's make some Kylords. First step, characteristics. Now we're going to use a variant rule where you all generate 3 different numbers using your Lone Wolf D10s. And then whoever gets the highest set of numbers, that's the set that everyone's going to use. Alright? And I'll explain that more in depth as we get there. First off, roll 3 times, get your 3 numbers. As a note, if you get the wolf face, that's a 0, not a 10.
I think I probably won
Well,
the
that
lotto.
sucks. It was not me.
I won the lotto. 987.
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. All right. Well, then 987 is your set of numbers. Now, both of you may, at your option, subtract 1 from one of those numbers and add to the other. However, you cannot go above 9 anyway, if you want to vary the numbers a little.
Yeah.
So you could have 2 9s and a 6 if you want it.
Or
Or
straight
3
eights.
8s.
Oh, or straight 8s. Either way. Okay? Keep those in mind.
Alright.
Now, we're also going to use the variant where you can tailor your stats. So, you can put those anywhere you wish. Between combat skill, endurance, and willpower. For your final scores, your combat skill is the number you've chosen, plus 10. For endurance, it's the number you've chosen, plus 20. And for willpower, it's the number you've chosen, plus 10. Go ahead and total those, and then that's the number that you add to your action chart in the relevant spots.
Alright.
Take a second, do that now. Next up, Kai disciplines. Alright, you're going to choose 6 because you're actually starting at rank 6. Normally you'd start at rank 5 for a new campaign, but this one's just slightly more advanced characters, so we're going to go for 6 disciplines. Now, your choices are Animal Kinship, Healing, Mind Over Matter, Mind Shield, Tracking, Camouflage, Hunting, Mind Blast, Sixth Sense, and Weapon Skill. What do you want to be good at? Do you want to be more of a ranger than a fighter? Would you prefer more of a psionic style character? Cerebral?
I'll go for the ranger this time.
Okay.
And I'll go to kick butt.
Alright, then I'll go Sonic.
Okay. Of the rangery style disciplines, you have Animal Kinship, Hunting, and Camouflage. I would recommend taking those 3 if you want to be a ranger type. For the kicketh of the butt, I would recommend Weapon Skill, Mind Blast, and Healing. For a Mentalist, Mind Blast, Mind Shield, Mind Over Matter. Alright, so what else do you want to do with your characters? What do you want them to be able to do? That'll help us decide what your remaining 3 disciplines are going to be.
I'm going to go as backup healer.
Okay, so then you'll take Healing as another one.
I was going to take weapon skill and healing for the
It's okay, lots of healing.
ranger healer.
There's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead and take those 2. So that'll add 2 more to you, which means you'll have 1 remaining.
I still have 3 remaining.
All right.
I don't see why I shouldn't. Well, other than the weapon skill, mind blast, and healing that you recommended for a fighter,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I could take the other 3 ranger abilities. Are there other abilities that would work?
Well, no one has Sixth Sense yet. Sixth Sense is basically like a precognition, danger sense, a warning ability.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Of course, Scott. We know you. It's cool. That works fine.
I will find the danger the hard way.
You often with your face.
Yes.
That's reasonable and fair.
And then I'll take tracking and animal handling.
That works. Never hurts to have them as backups. Of them all, we have them all covered now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you have 2 remaining. What do you want? Take a look at the list real quick. See what you like.
I'm going to do camouflage and weapon skill.
Okay. Good, solid, rounded group where everybody can fight fairly well. Everybody can heal themselves. And you've got the mental disciplines at least scattered a little bit amongst all of you.
Yeah.
All right. Good to go. Next step is weapons. Given the fact that you want to play the beefy fighter, do you want to be a large weapon wielder? Would you rather carry a shield? Would you prefer to swing 2 weapons?
Usually, I would think large weapon.
Okay. Then in that case, take broadsword. Scott, as a ranger,
Longbow, hand axe.
you'll take bow and axe. Robbie?
I'm going to go shield.
Okay. Shield and what for your offhand?
Mace, sword.
Go for mace.
Yep.
Good solid mace. Now, at the beginning of any given adventure, you normally have certain items that you've been given. You'll see a place for backpack, and then another spot for meals.
Yeah.
When we begin the first session, you're going to have the following equipment. You're going to have 2 meals, a coil of rope, a lantern, a flask of oil, and that will be it for your backpacks. You will also have a single special item called a waystone. That goes in the spot on your action chart labeled special items. All right, now on to traits. Scott, you want to play a woodsman style. So, what I would recommend for you would be the physical trait nimble,
Okay.
and the mental trait keen senses. Robbie, you want to be a mentalist, someone who's a little more cerebral than they are physical.
Yeah.
Although your characteristics, all of you are quite the specimens.
Yeah.
So, we will go with erudite. And then as a special trait, let's go for magical soul.
All right.
You have some magical training in your background. Kat,
Okay.
you are the sun-blessed meat shield.
It's me.
So let's go for... Well, you've got a few choices there. Brawny would suggest that you're more physically buff, you're more muscular. Die Hard, it makes you far more capable of handling punishment. And then there's also Iron Skin, which means you just shrug off some damage. Which of the 3 sounds best to you? What fits your image of the character?
Actually, brawny.
Okay. You are physically powerful and possess great strength. And then, since I said it, let's go ahead and have it as your second trait, Sun-Blessed. And those are your traits.
All right.
Now, because you're starting at rank 6, you get an additional trait. We've talked about it, and I think that for you, Scott, Vigilant. For you, Robbie, let's go with Tireless.
All right.
And then, Kat, we'll go with Hardy. Your characters all have a heritage, and then a background trait. For you, Scott, you are actually Vasigonian, and your background trait is Zakan's child. Robbie, you're Sumlending,
All right.
and you're from the city of Torin. That means your background trait is Enchanted Upbringing.
All right.
And Kat, you are a Kurlundan Islander. That is both where you're from, the Kurlundan Isles, and your trait, Kurlundan Islander. Next up is going to be skills. All right, Scott, for your character, as we discussed, your 2 skills will be acrobatics and survival. Robbie, for you, sage and occult.
All right.
And Kat, you've got might and influence. On your sheet, you'll see a box that says defense. Calculating this is fairly simple. You're each going to be given the following item. A chainmail waistcoat.
Okay.
This means that your starting defense will be +2. Technically speaking, it's just 2. The chainmail waistcoat adds 2, giving you a final value of 2. Certain traits, certain abilities would actually raise that. But for starting, you've all got a 2.
All right.
The next to the last step is Kai's Favor. You'll see that box on your action chart as well.
Yes.
Normally, if your characteristics were particularly low, you'd actually get a bonus to this. Because Kai's Favor is sort of that balancing factor that allows people who don't quite have as high a bonus to the actions they take, getting that little extra bump.
Yeah.
None of you get a bonus to this. Therefore, its value is 1.
All right.
Technically speaking, this would be the 4th step in character creation, but I like to save it till last because all of the other values help you sometimes to come up with what you want. This is the last step, naming your Kai Lord. There are charts. We'll go ahead and roll on them. However, you're not bound by what you come up with.
Okay.
All right.
We'll go with you first, Scott. Roll the die once.
5.
Okay, that's the second chart for prefix. Roll it again.
9.
Wandering is the first word. Now roll again for the suffix.
1.
First chart. Wandering Hunter. You like it?
Randomly works out.
That actually works out pretty well. So, Wandering Hunter. Robbie, your turn.
All right. 6.
For second chart.
All right. 1.
1. Silent.
All right. 1.
First chart.
1.
Silent Heart.
Okay.
Let's hope that's not a portent of things to come.
Yeah.
Cat.
Yes. 2.
First chart.
2.
True.
5.
Second chart.
8.
True Rain.
I don't know about that one.
That's okay.
Let's roll it completely.
Okay.
And I'll decide if I want to use either of the pieces.
Fair enough.
8.
Okay, second chart.
9.
That's Wandering again.
Yeah.
Reroll on that chart, though.
2.
Dawn.
Dawn.
Okay.
I like Dawn. 6.
Second chart.
9.
Dawn Strider.
I like it.
And there we go. You've got names, you've got characteristics, you've got disciplines, skills, and talents. You are officially Kai Lords. Congratulations.
Easier for us.
Yeah, I know, right? Next week, we start the campaign. On behalf of Robbie, Kat, Scott, and myself, we hope you've enjoyed this episode 0 on character creation. Coming up next, episode 1 of the campaign, Stormfall.